Okay, we've got 7 characters here, so how about I'll roll 3 for me and the other 4 for you, okay?
All right.
So that's Gamzee. Oh no.
Oh boy.
There we go. Right, Gamzee, Vriska. Okay.
Which one? Is there only one Vriska?
Vriska Marianne Lalonde. Oh, and Vriska Circuit. Okay.
Oh God.
I'll try my best to just differentiate them, which means you're doing Harry Anderson, John, narrator, and Rose.
Oh God.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hey, Harry Anderson. Guess where I am?
What? Who is this? I can't hear you. Vriska cups her hand around the receiver of the phone and shouts over the artillery artillery
Yeah.
barrage.
It's me, idiot. The hot babe you were lucky enough to have gotten to second base with.
Oh, hi Vriska. What's up?
I implored you to guess where I am.
Based on the horrible racket in the background, I'm gonna guess the battle outside the city.
Haha, I told you my mums were gonna hook me the fuck up with a sweet military commission. I'm officially in rebellion, sucker.
I'm watching the battle on my window right now. For you to be out there, Vriska. I kind of hate it if you died before we got to third base.
Yeah, whatever. I'm basically immortal, bitch. I'm gonna breeze through here like a high money roller getting sweepstakes at the blackjack table.
You should probably actually gamble once in your life before you try to make gambling metaphors, babe. Because that was dire.
Excuse you, but Tyrell's Toasty stuck me into Uncle Jake's poker game last month. It was immoderately lit.
Wait, are you still hate dating Tavros?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be?
Oh man, he's so pathetic.
Yeah, that's the point, Harry Anderson.
How do you stand kissing him? He's so weird and always mysteriously sticky for some reason. Please tell me you haven't gone to the third base with him.
A girl does not kiss and tell. Harry Debret, what?
Harry Dearest.
Oh, Harry Dearest, right.
Okay, well, as long as you don't touch me after feeling up his weird, clammy body.
I'm not going to get a chance to feel either of you out for a while, considering how, I'm not going to get a chance to feel either of you out for a while, considering that I'm now an important baller in Carcass and Mina's badass revolutionary army. Oh, I asked if they could squeeze you in. They said they were just out of openings. Sorry, dude. Lol.
Did you just call me to brag? What else is going on out there?
Who knows? Oh, your dad is here.
What? He didn't want anything to do with the war.
Yeah, well, he says that, but he's here right now and my mum's saying a bunch of gay shit to him. They're hugging and reminiscing about how old and sad they are or whatever.
Uh-huh.
What?
I really thought that my father might come see me for my birthday this year.
Well, them's the breaks, kid.
Man, you can be such a shitty girlfriend sometimes.
Maybe I'm inspired to be less than ideal mate for it when I'm in the presence of weakness. Ever consider that?
Unbelievable.
Hey, I'm just fucking with you. Don't be such a baby about it. It's a total turn off. I'm sure your dad cares about you very much. Maybe chill out.
Yeah, whatever. He's always getting a hell weepy whenever I talk to him anyway. I don't think I could have taken another round of him choking back tears while apologizing to me about what happened with me and your mother, Harry. I mean, God, he's not even fucking drunk when he does this. That might actually be the most embarrassing part.
Yeah, Lamau. Now that you mention it, I think he's actually crying right now. I think I can overhear. Wait.
Riska stops trying to eavesdrop on John's blubbering for a moment. She's distracted by another noise. She whips her hand around to detect an all too familiar sound echoing above the post bombing silence. It's a sound that she knows from hand won experience that can mean the only thing. There's a clown nearby.
I think I hear Gamzee?
Gamzee? My Auntie Jane's Gamzee?
Yes, who else could I mean? He's around here somewhere.
So what? I see him every day. He sucks.
So what? He's like Jane's left-hand man.
No, he's neutral. Remember?
That's not how Commander Vantus feels. He says he's a total bastard, a traitor to his kind.
Yawn. The dust is beginning to settle around Vriska's ankles. She scans the three line and brings all her attention to bear on this curious rhythm of noise coming from nearby, beckoning from the underbrush. She pushes towards it through the thorny shrubbery.
There's a bounty out for his arrest. Damn, they'll probably put him in front of a tribunal if we can get his hands on him.
Oh, I changed my mind. This sounds good, actually. Invite me to the execution, please.
If I could capture the high fucking priest Makara, they'd promote me to, like, third in command of the whole joint. Fuck yeah.
Well, good luck with all that. Call me if you want to hook up after the battle.
Naturally.
John's wiping away a tear with the sleeve when he catches sight of Vriska, innocently wandering towards the very bush where he just abandoned Vriska to sort out her confusing exhibition of unexpected and dearly profane lust. Now that the battle has stilled, he can overhear the vile melody of the blasphemous union. There's that noise again. I knew I wasn't imagining it. Oh, am I doing John?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Vriska, wait. John runs to intervene, but it's too late. Vriska pushes aside the last of the fronds separating her from her quarry with a triumphant ha. Vriska's huge, mischievous smile freezes on her face when her eyes pass the image to her brain, and it finally makes sense of this incomprehensible jumble of gray limbs, blue and purple slop, tangled black hair, and stunned faces. Her expression begins to slowly melt, then drifts quickly from face to face to one of wonder, then anguish, finally abject horror. Oh God. Vriska and Vriska both start shrieking it at a pitch John only ever heard at one time before. It was a sound that one accomplished the end of everything. A sound once heard the night that he dreamt in anime. Oh God. While John dealt with the sight by immediately turning and walking away, and the earth Vriska down into a nearby bush for safety, Vriska is uh, contending with their
Predicaments.
predicament, yeah. Thinking about the situation directly behind her. It is a situation which, if she could bear to look at it, would strike her as the as the precise intersection between the most humiliating moment of her existence, an unprecedented circus mishap, and a gruesome crime scene. Her attempt to ignore the unspeakable catastrophe behind her may nearly have worked, if not for the reminder provided by the many fresh bloodstains on her shirt. Not only stains of her own familiar cerulean hue, but others of a most unwelcome color mingling with them, a color she never imagined she'd see contaminating her cool and casual ensemble, and certainly not in a context like this. She attempts to distract herself, to delay the inevitable. Engaging with her poor judgment would not fly for much longer. Sooner or later, she would have to turn around and confront the fact that she's just kissed a very smelly clown head on. No, she doesn't want to. She won't. There's a rustling in the grass behind her as Gamzee shifts in grotesque supine length. Nope, she covers her ears. She remembers the shame and exor- excoriation of her childhood, the fear, the pressure, being forced to do awful things to undeserving kids, all that embarrassing effort she sent trying to emulate her ancestor. She threw every bit of herself into the hole, but in recent years, reflecting on the charade, that only made her cringe. And in what couldn't have been more than an hour ago, she was on the precipice of watching the glorious defeat of Lord English after unleashing a secret weapon that she went to the bother of retrieving and wielding against him. And then, no, she doesn't want to dwell on that moment. It was almost as bad as kissing a juggalo. Almost, but nothing can compete with this. Nothing could ever come close. Yet, as she stands there, feeling soiled and ashamed, there's no denying it. The moment she stuck her tongue in the highness mouth of that frisky, unwashed jester, she began jackhammering through the stubborn concrete of rock bottom, like she was digging up the corpse of a mob snitch.
Hey, Vriska, my delicious baby bitch. Your bad bone daddy is getting to be a chilly motherfucker from this dank summer breeze. How about we get our wicked snuggle one down at the grass we just made all nasty in?
She shudders somehow during her self-incriminating reverie. She managed to forget that she's not even Vriska anymore. She's now Vriska with parentheses. She scans the bushes and stops and spots her, the 16-year-old girl who somehow earned the right to call herself Vriska, the adopted teen daughter of Rose and Kanaya Mariam Lalonde, the person who, for all anyone knew, might be an exact generic double of Vriska herself. Okay. Now that she had any grounds to object, she missed her shot, snatched shame for the jaw of glory, and washed up to the shores of this hole of an approximation of what a paradise planet might look when to certain individuals the small sob she's been stifling finally comes out. Tears cut through the oily, shining mask of blue, purple, and mud on her face.
Hey, beautiful, is something motherfucking the matter? We can talk or open at each other about the sad noise happening in our bosom now that we all made the sordid pledge to practice a wicked intimacy on the motherfucking regular.
Vriska nearly vomits but holds it together. She wipes the tear on her face in a fury of indignant motion, smearing the blood around. She looks at her hands, notices the blood, and continues cleaning her face, using her tears as a solvent and wiping the blood on her shirt.
Gamzee, can you just not talk for a little while I don't know, just be quiet? Honk.
Her final sniffle is a snort of anger. It's not, if nothing else, she's learning something about herself today. Nothing sobers up her up emotionally, quite like the post amorous in insubordination insubordination of a raunchy clown. It's almost like like a smelling salt. She sneers, reveling a fang, and spins on her heel to face him.
Did you hear what I fucking said?
If his infuriating exclamation was just a whiff of the smelling salt, actually looking at looking directly at him again is like unbending the whole barrel and pouring it all over her face. She recoils involuntarily, but regroups. Her gaze sweeps across this entire ungainly form from her head to foot. He's got his head propped up in with one arm, elbows in the grass. His legs are crossed. His face is a disaster. One eye swollen shut, nose broken, a wildly smiling mouth split vertically down the lips. And hanging from his mouth is that a baby bottle? She doesn't even want to think about where he might have been concealing it all this time.
Oh no.
What sort of milk was that? It's another question she immediately wishes she hadn't just asked herself. She curls to she curls the other side of her lip, revealed both fangs now. She stomps forward, plants her left foot in the ground, and uses her right to punt the baby bottle clean out of his mouth, sending it flying several hundred yards into the land just beyond a distant row of trees. The rubber nipple remains stuck in his clenched teeth. His face is now coated with a good portion of the punted bottle's milk.
Ah, motherfuck sugarpuss, my nana nectar.
Vriska presses her foot down on his chest and pins his back flush against the grass. He exhales with a startled wheeze at the sudden force.
You better fucking listen up, Makara. I don't know what you may have thought this was, whatever the fuck it was that just happened here, but let me clue you in. It was nothing. Nothing happened here. Do we understand each other, you reprehensible, malodorous piece of shit? Honk.
She glares down at him with an intensity that would cause any other man to wither where he was not a reeking pile of circus manure. Gamzee's expression, however, remains uh, steadfast in his vaguely lewd sense of serenity. He simply gazes back at her, his smile slowly broadening. The milk seems to be mixing with the blood on his face, slightly lightening the tint of the purple. She hears a faint digital clicking somewhere. What is that? It seems to be coming from just behind her. She turns around.
What the fuck do you think you're doing?
At the end of his long, out, uh, outstretched arm, his hand is working a smartphone. He's smearing blood on the screen as he's typing a text to someone. Even at a casual glance, Vriska can tell going to he's going to the bother of al- al- alternating capital and lowercase letters in the text, making it take more than twice as long. Oh god. Somehow it makes her even more pissed off about it than he were just broadcasting their snogging the use of a typing.
I got to fucking tell my number one invertebrate about all what I just got did. He and I aren't as tight as the boys we used to roll as, but he should get his kick on about what a highly anticipated yet bitchin' piece of hard and heavy horseplay I was just made to partook. You were just made to. Why are you fucking. You're not telling Carcat about this. You're not telling anyone. Do you hear me, clown? Lol. Motherfucking shame on me for failing to recognize up sooner for how cute you are when you're angry. Ah! Now why don't you come all settle your works up, wiggle your ass down here with your salty new rumpus uncle, so I can snap some motherfucking selfies, my firm yet slippery little passion peach. Give me that!
She snatches the phone out of his hand, holds it from either side, and breaks it in half. She then spikes both pieces down at him, missing but causing him to flinch nonetheless.
No selfies, no text, no nothing. What fucking part of you're never telling anyone is so hard to understand? This never happened. Not a single fucking word of this is ever going to be breathed, whispered, or honked to anybody. Least of all any insinuation this is something I made you do. You get me, fuckface? I didn't make you do anything. You were slobbering all over my fucking foot while I was beating the shit out of you. I saw that look on your face. I saw how your copies was like, okay, never mind that. I mean, once you were socially into, don't try to convince me you weren't like, ugh, what am I even talking about? I don't need to justify myself to a disgusting, horny piece of film like you.
Gamzee's expression changes slightly. He retains his unfortunate aura of amorous placidity, but there's now a hint of sadness.
I don't know about all the business you just said, honey nips. I've got a feeling that wonder in my heart which says maybe I got erotically bushwhacked here. I'm so confused, I don't hardly know which way is up anymore, about my original warnings to the nasty dance we just did. Maybe the truth of the shit is more like, I got the advantage taken of me.
Vriska's face contorts with rage.
You son of a bitch, this was consensual. If anyone didn't consent to this horror show, it was me, retroactively. Vriska, I got to motherfucking say, this whole experience has left the motherfucker feeling a little bit uncomfy. Uncomfy, unrespected, used, and maybe also just an itsy weensy itty little bit unsafe. I don't care if you feel unsafe. You're a lying, disingenuous puddle of sideshow puke, and I don't believe for a second you meant any of that. The only thing that matters here is that you keep your fucking mouth shut about what we just did. Vriska, my mean queen squeeze and borderline sexual villain, I got reasons of self-protection against your problematic harlots that I should keep the wicked shit zipped, just like you say. Tell us me fucking straight, Turbo Tush. Do these look like loose lips to you?
If Vriska were to be honest, Gamzee's swollen, battered mouth was just about the most structurally inconsistent feature she's ever seen
In
on a person's face.
incontinence?
Incon- that word, that limp, floppy maw couldn't keep a uh, cantaloupe, cantaloupe secure. much less a secret. She drops down and strangles him in a way that is unmistakably non-amorous, even to an extraordinarily obtuse Randy Juggalo. She puts her shaking hands around his neck and grips tight. She positions her face inches from his, hissing a hot breath through her clenched teeth.
No one is going to find out about this, you fucking bastard. No one will ever know, so help me God.
Vriska is so furious. She has no way of pinpointing the exact moment her intent stopped being intimidating him into silence and started being guaranteeing his silence forever. She knows she knows this imposter was never a real god tier. She always known, just like everyone else. When he's gone, he'll be gone for good. She just needs another minute. Her grip grows tighter, and she feels the throbbing pulse beneath her hand gradually sub- subside. His arms flail, grab at hers, clutch at her wrist. He's alarmingly strong, but at this particular moment, not as strong as her. And then she lets go, his face frozen in a repellent mask, exhibiting the perfectly undetectable difference between terror and ecstasy. He's dead. Vriska exhales forcefully, staggers to her feet, shaking. She's the corpse. If her body language signals any remorse or sadness, the witness in the bushes certainly can't tell.
Eep.
Oh shit, Vriska has already forgotten about her somehow, her stylishly dressed teen duplicate, who surely just witnessed not only the original feat of debauchery, but also the compromising activity
Compromising.
which compromising that word activity which followed as well. Vriska would probably never have a few words with her.
um,
Vriska stands up slowly from the bush, obviously trying not to look at the lifeless clown. She puts a hand behind her head and seems to be casting about desperately for the right thing to say, but during that such a moment. But soon it's clear she's given up. Vriska doesn't blame her. She can't imagine there being anything in anybody's life that could adequately prepare them to have a snappy response ready for a situation like this.
hey, sup?